Hello friends, welcome to my Cosy Haven. My name is Fiona. I'm really glad you've clicked my video today. I'm just going to be chatting to you about the books that I've read this week, the books I plan to read this weekend, what I'm planning to do this weekend. So yeah, I hope you're going to enjoy hearing about the books that I've read this week. So should we start off, will we? Yeah. We'll start off with the one that I'm still reading most days, and that is To the Women by Donna Ashworth. I am thoroughly enjoying this one. I try and pick it up every morning once I've done my wee vlog bit. But no, thoroughly enjoying this. Just really enjoying the writing, the poems, the sayings. It's beautifully written. Let's see, where are we? What was today's? Just here's one of them. You are not walking alone. This floor you crashed on has become your throne. Perfection is a myth. We must stop believing in it. So yes, there's just lots of different little things, and then there's a poem called Are You Good? Pumpkin Spice. I Don't Need You at Your Best. All the Answers in Nature. Born Without Worry. Don't Let Them Make You Ugly. It's just so beautifully written, and I'm thoroughly enjoying having a little anthology every morning, which is nice. So I would, if she's done any, I think she's done a couple of other books like this, and I would be interested in reading them, I think, once I finished this one. But no, just really enjoying this. Then last weekend I finished 50 Ways to Say I'm Pregnant by Christine Rimmer. This is part of the Bravo Family Ties series. Number E1645, published in 2004. So I read this for the Retro Romance Readathon that is hosted by Sarah from reading category Romance and Storm from Storm Reads. So this was my pick for that readathon. So we meet Star Bravo, and Star came to live on a farm because, if I'm right, her parents passed away or were killed, and her uncle took her in. I think, gosh, I'm now beginning to doubt myself. No, it's her father. Her father owns the ranch, and he's married to somebody else. That's what it is. I think, did her mother pass? I can't honestly remember. And she's 16. And she sort of has a wee crush on this guy called Bo Tisdale. And his family are not exactly the nicest family. His brothers are, not nice guys. And he thwarts his brother's cattle rustling from Star Bravo's daddy's ranch, but he's still in trouble because he kind of helped the brothers, blah blah. And he is, he knows that Star's got a crush on him, and he, with the help of her father and her stepmother, he basically tells her, I'm not into you, etc, etc. And that breaks her heart, and she kind of holds it against him. Now she's out of college, and she's back home for the summer, and he's back on the ranch, or Bo's on a neighbour's ranch, and they see each other around, and she's not too happy, but then things happen, and they decide to become friends, and just sort of see where things go for the summer. And as you can guess, she becomes pregnant, and every time she tries to tell him, she can't do it. And it's basically the story of their summer together, her becoming pregnant, and how she's going to tell him that she is pregnant. And so I enjoyed it. I like Christine Rimmer's writing anyway. I enjoyed the story. I liked the sort of the angst at the beginning, the teenage angst of does he, doesn't he? And then Star growing up actually over the summer that they have together, kind of realising that the feelings that she had then were a little girl, were young adult feelings, shall we say. And that now that she's a woman, she can understand in many ways why he did what he did. And he explains to her why he did what he did, and she kind of now gets it. And it's, will they manage to become a couple with her being pregnant? How does that affect him? Because his upbringing was not good. He was in a very abusive family, and you feel really, really sorry for him, because there was no way he was going to, come out of that as a good person unless people helped him. So really, really enjoyed it, and I'm trying to collect as many of these Bravo books as I can, because I do really enjoy them. So yes, I'm really glad to have added this one to my collection, and I'm glad to have read it for Retro Romance. I then picked up Real by Carol Kujek and Peyton Goddard. I buddy read this with Beth from Soul Stained Ink, and also Esther Jane. We read this for the Children's Literature Book Group. Whoa. This book had me in tears of joy, tears of frustration. This book put you through the ringer. So we meet Charity, and Charity is autistic, and she is non-verbal. And everybody thinks she's an idiot. Even members of her family think she's an idiot. But she's not. She's bright. She just soaks up information like a sponge. And she goes to this academy. And she has a friend there, Isabella, who is Down syndrome. But the people do not try to help these children gain an education. They don't treat them very well. The aide steals their lunch money so they don't get hot food. If they can't do anything with them, they lock them in a cupboard for time out. It was awful. And one day, Charity's mother comes to the school for something to realise that this is what's happening. So she pulls Charity out of the school, and she insists that she is put into a mainstream school. And this one has a special education unit or classroom. And the headmaster of the school plus the lady that runs the unit, or classroom, I'm going to call it a classroom, I'm not going to call it a unit, classroom, come to Charity's house, and the headmaster he's not that great. He's like, pick up this pencil. And Charity's muscles don't do what she wants them to do. And he's like, no, I don't think we can take her. And then the lady that runs the classroom comes over, and she's really, really gentle with her and is really, really kind, and says to her, Charity, do you think you could pick that pencil up? And Charity does. And she goes, can you draw me an O? And Charity does. And the headmaster's like, and our parents are like, and so they agree to take Charity. And Charity makes friends. She makes friends in the classroom. There's Jazz, there's Star, there's Julian. There are a number of them, and they help each other out. And she also has an aide called Anna, and Anna comes and Anna helps, and they realise that maybe what they can do is, with helping Charity to control or use her muscles, that mean that they work in a way that she can do things. They have her doing yoga, they have her doing breathing exercises, and they discover that with help from Anna, she can type on a keyboard, which gives her a voice. And it's the story of this girl getting an education. and getting the education she deserves. It's also about herself and the other children in the classroom also going into mainstream classes, which is what they do, and they're getting an education. It's about charity trying to help others. It was an absolutely wonderful read. This got 5 stars. It was just an amazing, amazing read. It is based on Peyton Goddard's own story. And the people that didn't help these children, it was a disgrace. It really was. I have worked in a school for children with with disabilities, whether it be learning or physical or whatever. I worked there for a term while I was on a gap year. And I had a ball. I loved these kids that I worked with. I would go swimming with them, I'd go horse riding, I would help them in the classroom. And they were wonderful, wonderful kids who had so much to give. And it's exactly like in this book. The children in this situation, they have so much to give, and they want to give so much. As I say, it will bring you to tears. It will give you laughter, and it is just so worth reading. I absolutely loved it. So please do yourselves a favour. If you can get hold of this book, you will not regret reading it. It is just so good. I then picked up for the Little House readathon. I picked up Little Town on the Prairie by Laura Ingalls Wilder. It has been years since I read this, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a great read. Laura and her family they have a claim stake, and they live in that in the summer. Spring and summer, and then autumn, winter, they're in town. And we see Laura in school, we see her out in the prairie, we see her in town, we see her making her friends. In this one, Mary goes off to college. We see the town developing things to do on a Friday evening so that everybody in the town is involved. We see one very ineffectual teacher, but 2 others who are really good. We see Laura begin to bloom and grow. And, it was so nice to be back in this world that I haven't been in for so long. And to realise just how, I know that the families that lived in the prairies had such hard lives. And they had to work so hard. It makes you realise just how so fortunate we are. I loved hearing about Laura's chance to go and work. I loved hearing about what she did with her friends and how she began to think maybe I shouldn't be doing this because of this age I'm at, and this is what I'm going to have to do in a couple of years' time. And it's just hard beginning to process things as a 15-year-old going, right, okay, I need to be thinking of X, Y, Z because of, what my possible future is going to be. I loved seeing her mum and dad and how they managed, how they tried to make the best of everything for their family. It was a great read. I've got a number of the books. There are some I still need to finish off my collection, but thoroughly enjoyed this read. And I'm really glad I took part in the readathon. So thank you to Elizabeth from Lizzie Faye Loves Books for organising the readathon. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great. So what am I reading just now? I am reading, and will hopefully finish over the weekend, Heartlight Falls by Melinda R. Morgan. This is book number 3 in the Valentine Falls series, which this book will come out on the 3rd of March. I have been very lucky. I am on the ARC team for the whole series. I've read the first 2, and this is me in the last one. I am enjoying it. I will get my full thoughts once I've finished it, but I am enjoying it. It's a good read. There's one thing in particular that I'm It's slightly annoying me, shall we say, but I can bypass it in most ways, but I will give my thoughts once I've finished reading it. I am still reading the Deliciously Ella Quick and Easy, and I'm thoroughly enjoying that. To the point that I will be making more recipes, and I actually have one of Deliciously Ella's books that I actually went and made some fudge from today. I forgot to video it. It was like silly me. I forgot to video it, but maybe once it's set and I can taste it, I will let you know our thoughts on that. What are we doing this weekend? I think tomorrow, if the weather's good, we're planning to go to the local sort of mall that we go shopping in, just to get out the house. We haven't been really out the house, apart from errands or messages, for over 2 weeks. And I think cabin fever is kind of hitting. We all kind of want to go out for a wee while, so I think we're going to do that. What else is on this weekend? Six Nations again this weekend. We play England on Saturday. All I can say is, boys, I hope that you play better than you did last weekend. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, it was not a good day. It was not a good day last Saturday. Definitely not. And then we've got the Winter Olympics. So we've been watching that. We've been watching curling and lots of different other things. I'm being blown away by things like slopestyle and big air, and oh wow, these folk. These athletes are just amazing. So I'm thoroughly enjoying watching that. If the light is good, I may pick up my cross stitch and do more from it, because I haven't done it this week, but I would really like to pick it up and do a bit more. But that's kind of all I'm going to be doing this weekend. Just quiet, not a lot really. But I'm one of these people, I don't mind. I'm quite happy with that, if I'm totally honest. I'm quite happy just to sit and be quiet and just, well, as quiet as I get. I'm not the most effervescent person in the world. I am quite introverted. But so I don't mind not doing a lot or not seeing a lot of people. That doesn't bother me whatsoever. So yeah, so hold on, wait a minute. I've spotted something I need to show you. Right up there. Up there is Rosamund Pilcher's The Shell Seeker. I happened to see it and on our local grocery store. They have a bookshelves. Actually, I got it yesterday from Tesco. You'll find out more about it in the vlog because I spoke about it last night. My brain is just slightly... I'm having one of those days with my Emmy where my brain just scatters. It's lovely. So that's what's been happening. Yesterday I had a klutz day. Yesterday I broke a mug of mine. So kind of things like that this week have not been going my way. But hey, if that's all I've got to worry about at the moment, then I'm fine. So that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please come chat with me down in the comments. What have you been reading this week? What are you planning to read this weekend? What are your weekend plans? I'd love to know. Let's just come chat about books and coziness. Have you got any cozy hobbies that you're doing at the moment? I would love to know. If you haven't already told me, do you have any hobbies? What are they? I would love to know. I'm a baker, I'm a crafter. I love doing things as well as my reading, and I like colouring as well. So I've got a number of hobbies that I like to do, plus my yoga and swimming when I can get to them. So that's you. That's a wee bit more about me. But that's it for this video, friends. Whatever you do, have a good weekend, but stay safe and happy reading.